All right, we've got big breaking news coming in. India and China have agreed on disengagement along the line of actual control. Both India and China will restart patrolling along the LAC. An agreement here has been reached on disengagement. Patrolling will begin on both sides and both have mutually agreed to disengage. This comes after a lot of attempts to go ahead and have dialogue from both sides. Patrolling arrangements, as per the latest reports, have been brought for disengagement and resolution of the situation at hand. Geeta Mohan is joining us with more details on this big development and breakthrough. This, Geeta, does this also mean that we're going to see a bilateral take place in Russia on the sidelines of the BRICS?
Well, expectedly so, but again, no confirmation from either side on bilateral between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping. But the fact that the patrolling will start again at LAC is big news, and that both sides have started disengagement. There were a few of the finger points and friction points, that certainly still were being held by the Chinese side. And if disengagement has begun and the Chinese troops are going to withdraw from those areas, that is a very big and huge development. This comes after a very long time and many rounds of military level as also diplomatic level talks between the two sides. Finally, we're looking at India and China coming to an understanding, and like India has been insisting that China should go back to its earlier positions in the line of actual control between India and China, and that the patrolling that used to go on in those areas by both sides should continue the manner in which it was being done earlier. So if that has begun, and if the two sides have come to an agreement on disengagement, and the fact that India and China will start patrolling again, that's a huge development on the India-China front, and certainly paves the way for the leadership for a leadership level meeting. Remember, Akshita, since then there have been foreign minister level meetings, but there have been no leadership level bilateral meetings, full-fledged bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping. With the development, it does seem like in Kazan, on the sidelines of the BRICS summit, the leaders could very well meet.
It's definitely set the stage for that. The timing of this decision and breakthrough will lead to speculation on whether we're going to be seeing a Modi-Xi pull aside on the sidelines of the BRICS. I want to bring in Shivani Sharma for more details on this. Shivani, this is huge news. The fact that both India and China have agreed on disengagement along the LAC as well as ensuring patrolling. What has it really taken for this breakthrough to be achieved, Shivani?
See, I'm just out of the briefing that was happening of the Foreign Secretary, MEA, Vikram Misri, and he's very well announced here that there were several rounds of talks between India and China, both on the diplomatic as well as on the military fronts. We know that there were two consecutive WMCC meetings also that we saw in the last couple of months, and he said that both the countries have now agreed upon the resuming of patrolling because that had stopped after 2020, the Galwan incident that took place in June 2020. And now an agreement has been made between India and China, and the patrolling has already begun in these two places where the friction points remain. And to name these specific places, one was Depsang Plain, another one is Demchok. He's also said that very soon this engagement will also resume. So eventually disengagement will take place, and for now the big breaking is that the patrolling has already resumed between India and China on these two remaining friction points. We know that the other friction points where the disengagement had already taken place since 2021 and so on. And now these two places were remaining. One was Depsang Plains, another Demchok. So here also the patrolling agreement has been made between India and China, and the patrolling has resumed in these two places. That means very soon the disengagement process will also begin for these two places. So this is a big diplomatic win for India after these talks have succeeded. And very soon we can also see a meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping.
Is that confirmed, Shivani, that there will be a bilateral? Is that what was communicated to you, at least in that meeting?
Yes, we asked this question and he did not deny that this bilateral will not happen, but he also did not confirm it. He said that we are still working around the engagements of both the leaders, and very soon we'll be deciding upon these bilaterals happening on the sidelines of the BRICS summit,
Okay.
where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be present for 2 days,
Shivani,
22nd
I'm just
and
going to
23rd
interrupt
of
you because
October.
we're getting in a reaction from the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri. Listen into what he said.
Over the last several weeks, Indian and Chinese diplomatic and military negotiators have been in close contact with each other in a variety of forums. And as a result of these discussions, agreement has been arrived at on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas, leading to disengagement and a resolution of the issues. This is a multilateral event, though of course there is always a provision for bilateral meetings on the sidelines. We are currently looking into the overall program of the Prime Ministers. There are a number of requests for bilateral meetings, and we will update you on the bilaterals as they evolve as soon as feasible.